What's good, everybody? It is Monday, February 21st, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We like to call it the Early Edge. We're powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not even close. And I know we all feel it, the lull in between the Super Bowl and March Madness, but this is a great way, if we stay disciplined, you stay motivated, a lot of energy, then you can build up that bankroll for what's going to be an incredibly busy month in the month of March. Now, yesterday on the show, we had some good and we had some bad, but I love it that the jeweler was so emphatic and said, you know what, Brian Gay, top 5 finish, plus 350, bang, we nailed that. Last night, the All-Star game, it's always like a coin flip, but AB had you covered. We hit the Team LeBron over 321. It got to 323, but not a bad day. It was a lot of fun, but as always, as the maestro says, it's on to the next, and you got to be laser focused. And that's why we're here, and we're here for you. Let's bring in the stars of the show. A little bit of a different day today. Look who we have. I love it. I love the fist pump for my man, first and foremost, Chip Patterson. Good morning, Chip.
Oh, feeling great. You know, I'm on the site now, so sign up for SportsLine. Get a subscription. You can find some picks. I'm dropping them a little bit less than a weekend. We are above 500. That's good. And I'm on the show 3 times this week. Great Monday, great week, ready to go.
And that is exactly why I want you on this show as much as possible. I love – this is how you earn your spot with me, is be like Chip Patterson. Or you can be like Alabama and just cash winner after winner after winner on the ice. Allie, good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy to be here. Happy to be back and give out a nice little winner today.
Oh, and I think I'm my gut tells me you're going to have a plus money play today. Just a little gut feeling. And then also live from Las Vegas, he's always our guy on the West Coast with me, Zack Attack. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I thought I was going to have a great week on the site. It wasn't bad, but I want to recap. I had 3-4 just horrific losses. Coach, I know you probably were on 1 or 2 of these. St. Joseph's up 60 to 51. 60 to 51. I think it was 2.5 minutes left. George Mason goes on this flurry, goes to overtime. You know what's going to happen in overtime.
Yep.
Let's go to Saturday. North Alabama up 18 points. They are plus 1.5 at home against Lipscomb. That you could see it. Lipscomb's coming back. That final minute, they tie it, and of course, they end up winning by 4 points. St. Mary's minus 5.5 against BYU. I don't want to even get into that. You know what happened in that one. And then Penn, 71-70. They're winning against Yale. Didn't score in the final 3 minutes. Of course, they didn't cover that plus 4. So it was one of those weeks. You just have to keep going with the board in college basketball because it's going to be up and down. You can't expect to be 70-80% in college basketball right now.
That is a great hello. It's a great educational piece for people at home to understand, hey, this is really, really hard to do. It's really, really hard to do. But we can't control college kids all the time. And that's what is crazy about it. But those games,
I'm going to rank that St. Joseph as the worst one of the week.
they all were really bad. I had the over in the Yale game. Thank God. That's the only thing that saved me from those games. But you're on the right plays.
Yeah,
and
process is good.
The process is good. So, all right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And Zack Attack, I'm coming right back to you because Fairfield. For some reason, I have Fairfield in my mind. Talk to me.
Yeah, this is a team, and Stony Brook also kept losing. We mentioned them on the storyline last week. They lost to an 8-18 Hartford team yesterday. So I want to track another team that's been losing a lot. Fairfield, they were 0-4 this past week. ATS, it started with that Monday overtime win against Canisius. They just didn't cover. And they've had a weird schedule. They were cramming in a lot of games. They played an early game against Manhattan that didn't go their way. Lost against St. Peter's Friday. And you could feel that what was going to happen yesterday. They were absolutely blown out against Iona. They're going to have a week off. So they're going to have a chance to get rested up, but they're going to face Manhattan on Sunday.
All right, very good. Keep your eyes on the smaller teams, the smaller games. That's why my guys are here. By the way, Rebecca in the chat said, can't control college coaches throwing fists either. Ooh. Snap, Rebecca. Snap. By the way, that's going to be at least 10 games. I'm predicting at least 10 games, maybe for the rest of the season. We'll see what happens to Juwan Howard. All right, now, speaking of the Big Ten, a few weeks ago, this next team, they were locked and loaded. They were a team that said, hey, let's watch that team. They've got a dynamic leader. He's incredible. He got some good guards. But now all of a sudden, this particular team isn't looking so good. Chip, what do you have?
Yeah, big storyline for me that I'm watching is the Indiana Hoosiers and their NCAA tournament future, because you mentioned their opponent tonight is Ohio State. And when Indiana beat Ohio State in early January, we all said, wow, Trace Jackson Davis just ate their lunch inside. Mike Woodson's got this team ready to go. But things are not looking good for the Hoosiers. They have not only lost 4 straight on the court, they've lost 4 straight at the betting window, 0-4 ATS, last 4 times out. The blown lead the last time was just absolutely like confidence shaking. So what are you going to do, Indiana? Because you've got an opportunity to get a win at Ohio State that could really reverse a lot of this negative slide. Our own Jerry Palm, by the way, has you on the 11 line. Yikes. Bubble City for the Hoosiers. Big opportunity. I'm not going to be offering a play on this here. I might jump in on one on the site later, but that is the motivational storyline angle that I look of the entire college basketball board. What is Indiana going to bring with its NCAA tournament hopes on the line?
It's kind of like a man I used to work with used to say, "What you gonna do, bro?" I'm sorry. It just came into my head. By the way, Chad in the chat says, "Hey, good morning, everybody. I needed my zip this morning, and look, zip.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's go. All right, let's get into our board for the day. And before I get to the Ice Queen, we've got 2 plays from SportsLine. We're going to go with our man Buckets, Johnny Buckets, him and Martin W. Green. You guys have been loving them all the time. We're going to get them on as much as humanly possible, just like with Chip. We're going to go Napoli to win, -160. He also has another play on SportsLine. If you're a member, you can go there and get that play as well. We're going to go Napoli -160. Then in college hoops, the Citadel. Whenever they play, there are a lot of points. So we're going to go over 158, 8 p.m. Eastern. They tip against Samford. We love these 2 teams when it comes to cashing overs. Now, speaking of overs, in the chat, I believe it was Rebecca or Erica that said, Allie, can I have 2 overs today, please? Well, Allie, I know you're not going to give them 2 overs, but I know you're going to give them something we can cash. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so it's not an over for today, but I'm actually going to go with the Avalanche on the money line and then the parlay with that alt line of under 6.5. Swayman, he has a 2.14 GAA, and 10 of his last 11 starts have stayed under 6.5. Kemper, the Avs games, the one yesterday against the Sabres didn't go under, but since then they've kind of broken over that streak where they had all their games going over. The Bruins, they've been really struggling to score without Marchand, and the last, I think it's 5 games he has left, or 5 games he served in his suspension. All of those have stayed at 6 or under. And it's really going to be the Avalanche. They're not super hot on the road when it comes to scoring. And the Bruins, I think they're going to focus a little more defensively. So I think we'll see a few goals, hopefully like a 3-2. But I'll take that 6.5 just in case we ended up getting that empty net and then 4-2. But plus 170. So I do really think that's good. They're worth a good look for today.
That is such a smart way, Allie, of going about this particular play. I love it. It kind of reminds me of what Martin Green does in soccer. He'll play a team in like under 4.5 goals or under 5.5 goals, and it just makes the number a little bit more attractive.
Yeah, the minus 170 for the money line is kind of yucky, so especially on the road.
Yucky. I love that. That's a new official word of the show. It's yucky. It's yucky. All right. I love that play, Allie. Thank you very much. Now, I had somebody in the chat ask me, they said, who's going to get the Maestro's spot today? Well, if anybody know anything about anything, that when you're wooing somebody, when you're trying to get somebody to date you more and more and more, well, you do certain things. So, Zack, no offense to you this morning. You know you're my guy.
I knew where you were going there.
Bring
it on, Coach. Bring it on.
You're up next. All right, Zack Attack, you're up, big boy.
Okay, we're gonna go within the Big Ten. Penn State +3 against Maryland. Hey, towards the end of the season, you're going to be focused on teams that are getting into March Madness, some of the bubble teams that are trying to get hot. But you can also look at some teams, especially betting-wise, teams that are below 500 that are starting to play a little bit better. Maybe that momentum carries into next year. Penn State, they had lost 5 of their prior 6. They won 2 consecutive games at home. The question is, can they win on the road? They've lost their last 5 on the road. I think that they're going to keep this game close. We're going to take them +3, not the money line, but they've had great success against Maryland. They've won the past 5 matchups against Maryland, including 2 last season. Seth Lundy, one of their good players, scored 31 points. his second best outing of his career in one of those games. And they've won 6 of the past 7 against Maryland overall. So they play well against the Terrapins. And I'm not convinced this Maryland team is going to cover this one here. Let's take Penn State +3.
Oh, it gives me mixed emotions, Zach, because as everybody knows, Maryland just helped me teach a lesson to Jay Smooth the other day, that there are levels to this game. But today's a different day. We know that about college basketball. It's not
going to be like Nebraska. Let me tell you that. It's not going to be like Nebraska.
All right. It's not going to be like Nebraska. I love that a lot. By the way, if any of you want to know the fastest way to get blocked by your boy, let me find Jeff Sternberg. Jeweler, bring up Jeff Sternberg, please. He goes, thank God Allie is here. Not only picking winners, but totally makes up for having to see Coach.
Come on, Jeff.
Interesting. But my man Chad says, Jeff, Coach is the fuel that makes this rocket go to the moon. See, and that's why my man Chad and I have a love-hate relationship. Today, it's all love. It's all love. But, Allie, you have so many fans out there. I don't even know what to do. You know what? One of these days, I think I'm just not going to host. And, Allie, you can come in. And no AB. We're going to have Allie host. I think that would be amazing. Think about it, Allie. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. All right. Now, I take this spot in the show very, very seriously. For those of you who are new to the early edge, the last spot in the show, you have to earn it. And today, with his energy, with his commitment to excellence, and his enthusiasm, my man Chip Patterson gets the last spot of the show. Chip, what do you got for us?
I'm honored to be here, so let's get into it. Baylor, Oklahoma State over. This is another play in the Baylor over theory. It is a position that I'm going to look at as a starting point because of the absence of Jonathan Chachua. The 6'8" big man for Baylor, when he got knocked out of the lineup, it didn't really impact the scoring, but it impacted Baylor defensively, which means that a Baylor team that likes to get out and run, that has a lot of different scorers in the lineup, they actually have to score more in order to make up for some of their absences on the defensive end. I put it into play. It hit against Texas. It hit against Texas Tech. And then it lost against TCU by 3 points. The process, like we talked about earlier, is good. And Oklahoma State's going to do its part. Oklahoma State overs have cashed in 6 of the last 8 Cowboys games. Next pick, Arizona State +14.5. This is too many daggum points. This is just too many daggum points. Arizona State won this game in triple overtime at home earlier this month. Is there going to be a revenge angle for UCLA? Yes. But does revenge include making sure that you also cover this double-digit win? No. I think that Arizona State, which has won a couple games in a row, 3 in a row, that has started to cover the spread a lot more and also has that win against the Bruins, confidence keeps this competitive. Arizona State covers the spread. And finally, one more, Louisville at North Carolina. Louisville was in a really, really bad place for a while, but what we have seen is some of those players that were taking time away from the team, Malik Williams, Samuel Williamson, they are back in the lineup. And we've also started to see new players step up. And I think that Louisville has a deeper bench. North Carolina, very short rotation. So while you think about North Carolina, and they love to cash overs, and they love to go up and down the floor, it disadvantages Hubert Davis's team to play a lot of possessions. Less possessions makes it easier for an underdog to cover. So I do think North Carolina wins at home against Louisville, but I think that Louisville with a deeper bench, deeper rotation, fresher legs late in the game, I think they end up staying inside this number.
It's amazing, Chip, how many numbers like the Arizona State, like the Louisville, are just, I mean, we're talking about conference games. We're talking about end of the regular season. We're talking about just trying to get wins, not
just win.
Just win. It's all that matters. All that matters. We've got some drama. We've got some drama, everybody in the chat. My man Jeff, he's back at it. He says, Allie is the straw that stirs the drink. I said what I said, Coach. Interesting. So he's bowing up, sticking his chest out, shoulders back. Allie, your number one fan, apparently, is prepared to be blocked for life. I'm kidding, Jeff. I would never block you for life. Maybe
don't block him for life. Come on.
Maybe just a day or two. All right. We're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, and it looks absolutely glorious, courtesy of the jeweler. We're going to Zack attack. He's on Penn State +3. Then Alabama, the Ice Queen. She's on a little same-game parlay. Let's go Avalanche and the under 6.5. That's going to bring you back at +170. I love that number. Chip, 3 plays today. Baylor, Oklahoma State, over. Arizona State, plus the 14.5. Louisville, plus the 10 against North Carolina and the Fighting Hubert Davises. Then 2 plays from SportsLine. Napoli, that's from Buckets. Somebody in the chat said our soccer guys are thumbs down. Clearly, you haven't been following them because they have been cashing ticket after ticket after ticket after ticket. So if you don't want to play our soccer guys, fine, don't. We will. Then 1 college basketball play. The Citadel Stanford over 158. Then the gym, courtesy of the jeweler, had kind of a nice weekend off. We sent him to the woods. We sent him out, and he comes back refreshed. Napoli from Buckets, the Avalanche from Alabama, and then the Hurricanes from SportsLine. And by the way, if you're not a SportsLine member, let's do it right now. I'll give you 30 days for free. Use a promo code EDGE, and after that, we're all sailing together. It's all about being involved in it together. There's only one thing left to do. I love doing this so much. We do it 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and I understand there's going to be lulls in the year. It happens. But let's stay focused. Let's stay together. Let's stay positive and do something kind for one another today. Just like I'm going to do this for you. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. Jeff, this one's for you today. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. The Ice Queen, Zack Attack, Chip Patterson, and of course, the jeweler who puts it all together here at the brand. We are locked. We are loaded. We are getting ready for March Madness. And what we have in store for you, you won't even believe it. But right now, let's focus on Monday. Let's focus on being kind. Let's focus on being together right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.